All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the honors and all the praises and all the glory belongs to my Lord and Savior, whose name is Yahweh by Sham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Mahavakar Kwadash. Name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. Son's name is Yahweh Shai, in who I reverence and honors to the apostles that are in the Holy Spirit, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the very few brothers and sisters listening and also learning in the hopes of being saved within these last days. And I want to say Tawadi Yahweh, Tawadi Yahweh by Sham Yahweh Shai, Tawadi Yahweh, Tawadi Yahweh by Sham Yahweh Shai, for allowing me to minister to the elect in the hopes that they will be saved within these last days. Yeah, I'm back out here again, right? Regardless of what the enemy wants to hinder this truth, we continue to push this truth. The more we push this truth, the more this kingdom goes down. The more the demons get upset, right? So if the demons are getting upset, that's a good thing, right? This is going to be a variety of topics. Lord willing, this is going to be edifying. It's going to be a little bit based on what masonry. I've got a dollar bill here, and we're going to get into the intricacies of this dollar bill. Okay. So the first thing, we're going to start off with the first bit. It says Federal Reserve Notes, the United States of America, right? So America, it says states as well. How much states do you have? Correct me if I'm wrong, what, 51 states, right, of America. And we know today America is a corporation. And who runs that corporation? The elites, right? And the elites don't consider themselves British, by the way. They don't consider themselves British, right? They can actually consider themselves Jews. They call themselves Jewish, right? And they don't believe in the Torah. They read out of something called the Talmud, the Babylonian Talmud, right? Okay. So this is the United States of America, Federal Reserve Note. Why it says Federal Reserve Note, and who runs the Federal Reserve System? The elites. Okay. The elites. Okay. They run the Federal Reserve banking system. All right. And what else? The note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. But this is the thing. It doesn't have any. This doesn't have no weight to it. It's just printed out of thin air. Printed out of thin air. All right. And if you have a lot of something this is a fact. If something gets printed, right, and you have a lot of it, a lot of something, what happens? Hey, that's good, that beeping. You hear that beeping? Hey, that's good. That means I'm getting Satan's attention, right? And it says, if you get a lot of something, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means the value of it goes down. If you have a lot of something in stock, the value of it goes down. So the more they print these Federal Reserve notes, the stock of it goes down, right? The stock of it goes down. Okay. So United States Federal Reserve note, this is a $1, Secretary of Treasury, Washington, D.C. Right? And Washington, D.C., yeah, where the money is printed, and also, what else? Where hold on, where is the military operate out of Washington, right? The laws get pushed forth out of Washington. Okay, what else is there? Department of the Treasury, and you have the scales. See in the middle here, you have the scales. It's lucky if the picture ain't too good. Right in the middle, right there. Right, the two scales, which is supposed to represent what balances, right? A just weight, right? And the scripture says a just weight is an abomination to the Lord Yahweh Shai, and this man is unjust. Right? And that represents his court systems as well. It says 1789, Department of Treasury. And really, where's the Treasury today? The Treasury is actually in the UK. No, London is the financial district. Salakia. It's not Washington. The laws come out of Washington. London is the financial district. Tells us that in Revelations, 16? The unclean frog. We're living in the unclean frog. London is the unclean frog. Right? And that represents what? The spirits of divination as well, right? And the false prophet, which is the Catholic Church, right? That are speaking lies, right? You ever wonder why so much people are coughing? That's them unclean frogs, right? That's them unclean frogs, them unclean spirits. And London is what? The unclean spirit. London is one of the major cities of the unclean spirits, but it's also a financial district, because London is also a corporation where the criminals hide their money. A lot of the Russians, I don't know, well, a lot of the Russians go back to Russia, but some of them can't go back to Russia because Putin would get them executed. But a lot of the Russians, they hide their money in what? London. A lot of the criminals hide their money in London, right? So there's a lot of underhanded stuff going on. But let's continue on this. And the images of George Washington, right? And yes, George Washington, the founding, well, I don't want to call, they were not the founding fathers of America. Let's get that right. They were not the founding fathers of America. So lucky if my fingernails are dirty. I've been doing a lot of gardening and digging, right? Yes, we do labor, we do get busy, right? Regardless of what individuals may say. But this is George Washington, right? And we know, how was America established? By Spanish, what, the French, I don't remember every name, but the British. That's why you have these colonies within America. Remember, they were all fighting for land. Remember, the Europeans were even fighting against each other for land, right? And George Washington, right? Yes, he was a Mason, but they were not the founding fathers of America, because guess who was there first? The northern tribes, which are Israelites, the so-called North American Indians, Seminole Indians, right? So these individuals, yes, these were high-level Masons, right? Thieves, robbers, right? Murderers that came to the shores of America, and they set up, they were pilgrims, all right? Because they were kicked out of Europe, okay? So that's George Washington. And we're going to get more into this. We're going to break it down. And what else have we got? What else have we got? You notice you got webs. Excuse me just a minute. You notice with this note, we're going to get into all the symbology, right? Lord willing. You notice you see webs upon this. Don't know if the picturing's all right. Excuse me just a minute. Check the webs on the side of it. All right? And the web represents entrapment, because another way you can get people entrapped is by money. See, bro, they've studied, bro. Remember, the individuals that run this world, they believe in esoteric knowledge, how to trap people, how to enslave people. So the web, as you see this web, if you look closely, and it's on the other side, we're going to go to the other side as well. The web is what? A sign of entrapment, right? And that's why, let's go to Mark. Babakasha. Go to Mark. Babakasha. See if we can find it. This is Mark 4 and 18. And these are they which are sown among the... Hold on. The cares of this world. No. I want to go to Timothy's as well. Go to Timothy's instead. Excuse me just a minute. So much different things I'm thinking about. We're going to bring out the truth, man. Alright? Come on now. Oh, and we might as well go into that. 1 Timothy 6 and 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil. The love of this is the root of evil. You know how many people have died because of this? $1. Right? Because of $1. Trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. Come on now. Wait just a minute. So this is 1 Timothy 2 and 4. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this world, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Entangle. What's the entanglement? This system. But money, we don't get entangled with this world. This was designed to tangle you. Now, money answers all things, but money and wisdom is a defense. Wisdom and money is a defense. But that's why you have the web to entangle you. So now we're going to go into the other side. Go and completely decode this system and the realms of masonry, which is just esoteric knowledge, which they've hidden from the masses to enslave them. Right? So now we're going to go into the other side. Same thing, United States of America. It says, in God we trust. In God we trust. So what's the God they're talking about? In God we trust. You know what? This is going upside down. I have to turn it the other way around. In God we trust. So what God do they trust in? What God do they trust in? Who's their God? In God we trust. In one. Let's see what God they're talking about. Because the elites, who do they worship? They worship Satan is their God. Be careful about that. God, in God we trust. Well, who is their God? Go to Corinthians. Come on now. Satan, you've already lost, devil. You've already lost. Okay. Yahweh has already defeated you. You're conceited. You're defeated. You're a loser, Satan. Right? I laugh in your face, Satan. Right? So it says, this is 2 Corinthians 4:4. In whom the power of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not. So guess what? The minds of the God of this world. In God we trust. Right? It says it. In God we trust. Well, it's showing you what God they trust. Satan is their God. Baphomet. Right? That's their God. Baphomet, that androgynous demon. Right? With the goat's head and the breasts. That's who they worship. That's their God. With the goat's head, with the breast out, with the goat feet. That's the God of this world. They called it the goat of Mendes. Right? That's what they call it. The goat of Mendes. That's who they worship. Okay, when they're in them lodges, that's who they worship. I bind you in the name of Yahweh Sham Yahweh Shai. You will have no power over here. And it says, blind the minds of them which believe not, lest the glory of the gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of the Mashiach Shoshana. So the God of this world, Shaitan, has blinded. So that's the God they believe in. When it says, in God we trust. That's who they believe in. I might have to turn this, hold on, does it work if I turn it upside down? Nah, same thing. Alright. Right, we're gonna decode all the masonry. Alright. What else? What else is there on here? So, again, you have the web. Right, it's more clearer on this one. You have the web, right, to entrap people. All right, let's get into the phoenix, right? And you have a phoenix, right? Not an eagle, it's a phoenix. Okay, you see that, right? And what does a phoenix represent? Being risen from the dead, right? Risen from the ashes. That's what the phoenix represents, right? Rises from the ashes of what? The ignorant world. Okay. And what else do you have? It has arrows. How much? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I think it's 13. Right? So it has 13 arrows. How much stars does it have? 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 13. 13 stars. All right? Possessed by what? 13 colonies. Right? Because it was possessed by 13 colonies. Remember, they deal with numerology. Right? They also deal with numbers as well. Right? So 13 stars, 13 arrows in the hand. how much leaves? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, and 13 leaves as well that is holding on upon his feet, right? E pluribus annum, of a pluribus annum, right? So remember, they deal with the people in the society, they deal with codes as well. Okay, excuse me just a minute. So we went to that, Babakashah, and we're also going to jump to the pyramid, because this is the main thing, right? So we got the pyramid as well. Get into this. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. So here's the pyramids, right? Oh, don't speak about that. And this is what everybody's scared of. This is what everybody's scared of. This right here. The all-seeing eye. Oh, don't speak about that. Keep it a secret. Yeah, the all-seeing eye's gonna see you. So bloody what? See, these people they're not free. And masonry is you agreeing to your captivity. That's what it is. Right? You being a good old slave in return for goodies. In return for Satan blessing you. That's why you got people walking around here, jogging around here like zombies. Because they've given themselves over to that. Did they have a choice? Yes, they did have a choice. And they picked the side of Satan. So let's decode this. You've got the pyramid, you've got the all-seeing eye. It's lucky about the camera, ain't too good. And you've got the all-seeing eye in the middle. Right? And what does the all-seeing eye, what does this go back to? It goes back to Egypt. Right? Pyramid goes back to Egypt, our bondage, our captivity. Okay? That's what it goes back to. Okay? And on the top of it, you have an all-seeing eye with sun rays amongst the pyramids. Right? Because, again, they worship the sun. Remember, they worship many different idols, the sun god. The elites as well, they practice the customs of Egypt. And I'm not going to get too much into it, but have you noticed some of the families, a lot of the families, they keep it within family. They practice incest. Yes, the rulers of this society practice incest. That's why they look deformed, right? That's why they look deformed. And that practice goes back to Egypt, right? Because even the Egyptians were doing that as well, practicing incest. That's why their heads would look all messed up, right? And that's a heavy thing, even between what Edomites, they do that as well. Okay. So you have the all-seeing eye, right? And you already know what that means. Basically, they can see everything you're doing, wherever you are. And that all-seeing eye, what does it represent? The system, the program. It's everywhere. It's in your house. Well, yeah, they can see everything you're doing. Everything you're doing. Even when your phone's turned off, right? Do you know there's even some clocks that have hidden cameras in it as well? Some clocks you can get. They can see everything you're doing. That's the all-seeing eye that people are scared of. Everywhere you go. And it's with everybody around you. They're the ones that are keeping this pyramid going. Right? And the pyramid is what? Those that build it. Really, the pyramid goes back to our people. Our people built the pyramids, Israelites in captivity. Right? It was Israelites that built them pyramids. And it even tells you that in the scriptures. We were in captivity under the Egyptians for 430 years. That was prophesied to Abraham when he had that dream and it troubled him. So you have the all-seeing eye with the light around it, which represents the Illuminati, the light bearers, right? They bear the light. They have this hidden esoteric knowledge that they hide from the masses to control them, right? I want to say this as well. I don't feel like, oh, I'm trapped. You know, he's trapped there. You know, I can't, there's nowhere to go, there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere, you can't do nothing. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Excuse me. Right? They want you to believe that. Really? Right now, if I wanted to, I could go on a little cruise to Spain. I was even thinking about doing that. Or hitting Turkey. Right? I need to take a trip out of this place, London. London is a depressive place, right? Nobody's stopping you. You're free if you're in your Habashai. It's these people that are not free. All right, you've got nowhere to go. That's your mindset. You have a scarcity mindset. I don't. This truth teaches us to have an abundance mindset. Are we still in captivity? Yes. But the Lord, he's releasing us from our captivity, and that starts with the truth first. Right? Got people doing silly hand gestures, just doing dumb shit. Right? But they're still in bondage. You got your hands behind your back. In masonry, the hands behind your back, the hands behind your front, in a triangle sign, that represents you in handcuffs. You're in bondage. So there's people that walk around with that stupid gestures. They don't care. They're in captivity. They love it. Foolish can you be? All right. So that represents basically that pillar, that triangle at the top, the capstone at the top represents the Illuminati. We call it the hidden hand, the all-seeing eye. That goes back to Egypt, the light bearers. All right. Won't take our time with this, Babakashah. All right. That's what it means. Actually, it means the great architect, Lucifer, because the people within this society, they believe in Lucifer. They say Lucifer, Satan. All right, the angel of the morning. With Yahushua is the real Lucifer, the Messiah. It's not a bad word, by the way. Lucifer just means light bearer. Right? We're gonna get one thing at a time. Go to Isaiah 14. Lucifer just means light bearer. But the rulers of this society, the Masons, they worship Lucifer in terms of Satan. They get their light on the left-hand side. Right? Isaiah 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Right? O Lucifer. Right? How art thou fallen from heaven? From his higher state. And that's what's going to happen. Yahushua going to bring this man down. Oh, Lucifer, son of the morning. You ever heard that Jay-Z song? Lucifer, son of the morning, I'm gonna take your lights away. Lucifer, Lucifer, son of the morning. And he starts getting hypnotized. Right? Lucifer is the son of, but Lucifer represents the Messiah. Because who has the ultimate light? Yahushua. Oh, no. The elites, they have the light, but it's esoteric, it's manipulation. It's Kabbalah. The Kabbalah deals with what? What does it deal with? All right? It deals with, what's the word? We're going to get into it. We're going to get into all this, one thing at a time. It deals with collective consciousness. So the people doing all the same thing, yeah, bro, it's collective consciousness, which goes back to masonry. They all think the same thing. They all do the same. That's what it is. It's collective consciousness. All right? Which are cut down, which did weakest the nations. So who's weakening the nations? The elites, those that are ruling right now, they're weakening the nations. Right? The nations are being weakened. IMF, International Monetary Fund. And guess who runs that? The same people that control the Federal Reserve. Same people that control the Federal Reserve. Right? Come on. Right? Those that weaken the nation. So we went to that. And when you go to the real light bearers, go to Thessalonians. Because who are the real light bearers? We are. Right? Abakashah. Excuse me just a minute. Thessalonians 5 and 4. But ye are not in darkness. Right? Key thing. Right, the day should overtake you as a thief. Right? So we're not in darkness. Right? You are the children of the light and children of the day. We are not of the night of darkness. So we're the real Luciferians in a good way on the right hand side. They're Luciferians on the left hand side. We're Luciferians on the right hand side. Right? Giving you the true knowledge. We don't hide it. We don't say to one another, oh no, but is he a Mason? Well, we can't tell him that. We got to keep it to ourselves. No, we declare the light. And those it's given to the mysteries, it's those that have been given to receive this word. It's given unto you to know the mysteries. right? Or is he a Mason? Oh, he can't join us. What type of rubbish is that? Load of rubbish, right? And what are you doing with that knowledge? Are you using it for righteousness? Are you using it for wickedness? Because you can have knowledge, but what are you using it for? We are the real Illuminati. You are the children of the light, children of the day. We are not of night nor darkness. Hold on, the Masons do wicked stuff, then they hide. Right? I've seen it. They do wicked stuff. You go to confront them, they're no longer there. They dip off. Or they drive off in their vehicle. Where's your light? Declare your light. If you have the light, declare it. Why are you hiding it? You hide in your hand. That's why they call it the hidden hand, because they do wickedness and they hide their hand. So let's continue on this, baby, in just a minute. So you have what? We went into that. The capstone. The great architect, Lucifer. Alright? That's what it represents to them. And you have basically the stones. And I believe, what's this, 72 stones? I think is it 72? Right? I think it's 72 bricks. Bricks, right? Bricks. 72 bricks. Right? If you count all, I think it's 72. Right? Remember, they do with numerology. Right? And it's the bricks and all that. We're talking about, oh, yeah, my father, my great-great-grandfather was a stonemason. Bro, masonry goes further back than that. Masonry really starts off with Solomon. Right? And the major builder, the major headstone is Yahweh Shai. Right? All this stuff they took from the Bible and they've just twisted it for their own gain and turned it into something evil. Right? So there's 72 bricks as well. You have brick masons, you have stone masons, you have all types of masons. Right? In different forms of professions. Right? You have the guilds. Right? Okay, in the UK you have the guilds and so forth. And they train you and so forth. And they have certain secret knowledge. You ever wondered why when you go across London Bridge, right, and you have them poles on the London Bridge, them little poles, well, them long poles, have you ever wondered why there's a certain noise, a certain vibration? Have you ever wondered why? And it's a demonic vibration when you cross that bridge as well. Heavily demonic. Because they've mastered the art, they have the secrets to what? Negative forces, right? They call it the guilds. Yeah, they have certain type of knowledge, but are they using it for righteousness? Right? You look at the buildings, right? A lot of triangles, ain't there? There's a lot of triangles, right? It's time you wake up now, right? It's time you wake up and realize the truth. What's really been going on? Okay? Yeah, there's a lot of triangles everywhere, right? And compasses, right? And they say the highest level is what, 33-degree masonry. That's the highest level, so they say. Is there anything else? Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, back to the phoenix as well. Yeah, there was berries as well. There was what? 13 arrows, 13 leaves, 13 berries. And you have the different powers, which are the 13 colonies. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Right? So we went into that, Baba Kashar. And the E, make sure I went into all of it. There's still more. And you have the annuit coeptus. Annuit. Annuit means what? Conception, announcing. Annuit coeptus. I don't know if you can see it. Right, just above the pyramid. Annuit coeptus. Annuit, conception, the birth of announcing. Right? Is there anything else? And what else? Baba Kashar. You have what else? What else? What else? Caceptis. Septis. If I'm saying it right. Conceptus, right? What does conceptus means? You go in, I looked it up yesterday. You go into the Latin, it's coepe. It's coepe, right? Yeah, they know I'm right. That's why they're laughing, because they know what I'm speaking is the truth, right? It's coepe. They even know what I'm speaking is the truth, right? Coepe, which is what, right? To cooperate, right? So that's what people do. They cooperate because they're scared of the all-seeing eye, right? So they cooperate, right? It's all around us, all right? The New World Order. Okay, let me move this so it can get past. Okay, so correctus means coopere, right? Because they need full cooperation. And what else is there? There's annuaire. Did I go to it? Annuaire. To indicate, to agree, to begin, right? So you have to agree to it. So annuaire, conception, abakasha. Is there anything else? And seclorum, one thing at a time. Novus ordo seclorum, right? Seclorum, E is secular for new world order, right? So we pretty much broken it down, right? Pretty much broken it down. And the E is for one of many. One of many. So there's so much decoding within these scriptures. So much decoding, right? So much decoding, right? So that's it concerning this dollar book. So this is how Esau deals. This is how the rulers of the society deal. Everywhere you go around you, there's symbolism. What do you call this? This is occultism. This is occultism on your money, right? So little do you know, may not look at it. It's occultism on your money, right? And it's all around you. It's even in the UK. Knights of Templars, so forth. The Golden Dawn, the Order of Golden Dawn, the Magna Carta, right? All of that. It's all around you, right? You see it. You see the symbolism. It's on your banks. Within your banks is on your local companies. Even when you go to the coffee, I thought, what's that? Espresso. What have you got? You got that woman that looks like Medusa on your espresso when you go to get your coffee. She looks like Medusa. It's all around you. You go to Argos. Argos is named after a Greek idol, Argos, right? You gonna find out that this whole world we're living in is based on idolatry. Everything, right? All these stores, right? All these stores. You're going to see the idolatry around you, right? Idolatry around you, every corner, right? Because that's how they get blessed by Satan, all right? You're going to see people doing this, all right? Doing that, all right? You got the Scottish Rites, which is one of the highest ones in the UK, the Scottish Rites, right? Even on your local helicopters, you have the compass, right? Everybody's juiced in, right? But Yahushua wasn't down with that, all right? Come on now. So we went to that Baba Kasha, and that's all Satan's got to say. You're useless. That's it. That's his last attempt, because he's going down. That's Satan's last attempt. Well, guess what? Even though Satan knows he's going down, well, guess what? You're useless. Hopefully that would get him. Yeah, right. I'm fervent for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's what I am. I don't know about you. You're not free. You have to follow me around. So you're useless. You have to follow somebody else who you perceive to be useless around. How does that feel? How does that feel? Huh? Like D'Angelo. How does it feel? Huh? That can't feel very nice. Right? Well, we have this light, the real light, and me gonna proclaim it. You have to do that. Because if you don't do that, you might get depromoted by Satan. Right? And you don't want that. Right? That's why you should have just stuck it out and stayed on your Habashai side. Rather than to be a slave of the world and what Satan thinks. Because when these people mess up, they get punished by Satan. Their whole thing is to try to convince you to come over to the dark side. But I've been there already. I've been there. I've been on the dark side. I was a slave to the kingdom of darkness for a long time. Right? I was a slave to the kingdom of darkness. I had habits, which habits can turn into particular ritualistic behavior. And that's what these people do as well. They try to do rituals upon you. And maybe if we can circle him, some ritual abuse. Bro, that's not going to work. Maybe if we can drive the cars around in a loop, that's ritual abuse. But I bind every warlock, every witch, every warlock, every sorcerer that comes against me and my family. I bind it in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Any witch or warlock that's coming against me and my family, I bind it in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. First in what? Earth, then in heaven. Or should I say first upon earth, then in heaven. Really, it should first in heaven, then upon earth. Because everything's bind in the spiritual realm first. I bind it in the name of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. A command in the name of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Any evil that's been sent my way, any enchantments that been sent my way, I bind it in the name of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Alright? So we went to that. Yeah, I was a slave to darkness. Right? And people, yeah, they want you on their side. Let this helicopter go past. And even when I'm looking at this helicopter, the one that went past, if you look at the bottom of it, it's got like X. Right? It's got a big X. Right? What do you think that is? That X is like a triangle. They're all a part of the occult. They're all a part of the occult. Right? That's why they're familiar with each other. Even though some of them don't even know each other. But they all have that same belief. They all work for Satan. Oh, I was a slave to darkness for so long. But Yahweh brought me out of that. Right? And he can bring you out of it as well. That's what I'm here to tell you. Right? Doing all types of wickedness. Wherever the flesh was leading me, that's where I'd go. Bro, we were doing all types of... And anyone that says they weren't, you're lying. Because you got individuals in this truth that want to act. Holding and dying. Right? Excuse me just a minute. Right? But now we choose to come to the light. Right? The people around you, they want to set you, bro. Everything that you see with these people following you, it's like it's a setup. It's a setup. Because another thing I've realized in masonry as well, I never knew about all this. I used to watch certain videos and hear this, but I never knew that how deep it goes, the rabbit hole goes. Excuse me just a minute. Basically, within the orders of masonry, their whole thing is they need something on you, right? That's how masonry works as well. They need something over you, right? So you can stay in line. That's what you ever see the smile? The cheesy smile? The laugh? You know? All that's fake. All that's scripted, right? The laugh, the smack, or you go into a room. A lot of it is nervous laughter because they fear Yahweh Shai. But a lot of it goes back to masonry. You know? Oh, everybody knows something that I don't know. Bro, it's deceit. It's deceit. It's made for you to question yourself. Well, have I done something wrong? Is there something everybody knows that I don't know? No, there's nothing you've done wrong. It's what you have not done. You have not joined their organization. Or if you did join their organization, you got out because you knew what it was about. That's what it is. Right? They're already the fools. Okay? They're already the fools. Let me just check the time. Right? Yeah, they're already the fools, and they're gonna find it out. Right? There's loads of things that you catch on to over some time. Right? You go somewhere, right? You hear that demonic laugh. Bro, that's just demons, man. The demons trying to scare you. Right? Because the demons even know you're Yahweh Shai. So there's two things they do. They would get out of there quick, or they try to get you out of there through fear, but that don't scare the elect. Right? I went into the store today. Oh, they were hella nervous. Bro, it was so silent. You could hear a pin drop. Because they're demons. They fear Yahweh Shai. And them demons know who the elect are. And hopefully we are of the elect. I keep on telling you, what's masonry? Right? Masonry is knowledge that's been handed down from Satan, that's given unto you. And you're given certain supernatural abilities. Yeah, you know little bits, and you're given certain information. Yeah, they're given certain information as well. Yeah, they're able to see certain things you do within your household. They're able to, yeah, they're given that, right? In return for them to give their soul to Satan. So do they know certain things about you? Yeah, they do. Because they're dealing with the devil. They're dealing with familiar spirits that they're in league with. That, well, really, Satan's just using them. And that's masonry for you. You giving yourself to that entity in order for him to jump in you and do anything he wants at his will. Oh, he would jump out at you, but he would jump back in you anytime he wants. And you can't say, no, not today, Satan. Right? Well, you can. Well, I say that. Okay, because we, even in the truth, we get that. But the thing is, can someone that has the Holy Spirit, can they be demonically possessed? No. Now they can get demonic attacks, because it happens to us even more than people in the world. Why? Because we have the truth. So we're more of a target to Satan. That's another reason why you get targeted. This thing is systematic. This thing is spiritual. Ephesians 6:11, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and darkness in high places. Masonry is darkness in high places, which deals with the supernatural realm. Yeah, they're able to tap in and tap out of that realm. That's what happens when you join Masonry. And that's as far as it goes. But they're still miserable. And then when they get to about, I don't know, maybe mid-40s, 50s, then they really start to question what was life really about. Maybe I should have done this. Maybe I should have done that. Then you find out, with me, it's like the Truman Show. Well, how long were they lying to me for? Was it my whole life? Right? How long were they keep keeping me in secret? This thing is real. That's why you got to wake up to this truth. Bro, it's a blessing what Yahweh showed me. I could see it. And that's why I believe, in terms of my targeting, I don't know if it will ever, I don't know if it will ever stop. Lord willing, it will. I don't know if it will ever. Because when you know what I know, no, we can't just leave him. No way. We can't just leave him alone. With all this he knows, we gonna need to follow him. Right? And that's how it is. You know all this knowledge? We know too much. Right? So basically that's what Masonry is. Right? It's knowledge of the portal organic realms. right? But people, they're hypnotized by Satan. Watch that Snoop Dogg song, "Murder Was the Case That They Gave Me." He breaks it down in that song. He breaks it down, right? When he got shot up. He was in the hospital, right? And guess what? The devil came to him. Bring your life to me. I make it better. And how would I live? I make your life better forever. But would I be the G that I was? I make your life. I forgot how the lyrics go. I make your life even better than it was before. Whatever. And he said, relax, take control. Let me take your mind. Relax, and there's your soul. So he was even telling you in the songs how masonry works. Relax and let me take your soul. Sit back. Hypnotism. Right? So when you see people walking around with a dead spirit, right? Go, ha, 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 like something out of Walking Dead. That's because they're part of these lodges. And I believe there's a lodge in every city. There's a lodge in my town as well. There's a few lodges. Right? This thing is real. And now you're the one that has the light. That's why they're following you, because you have that real light. And they even see your light. Because I believe in even witches, they have a certain level of, spirituality, right? Where they're able to see, because remember, they tap into the left-hand side. Right? And a lot of witches they're envious at your gifts, because their gift is on the left-hand side. Right? They have the gifts of divination. Right? But it's not quite the same as the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit is what inspires us. It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to be called into this marvelous light. Ephesians, excuse me just a minute, and we can go to Colossians. Ephesians 2, and you have he quickened, whom are dead. Oh, it's getting hot out here now. You have he quickened, all right? Who were dead in trespasses and sins. Please, brothers that are in masonry and the lodges, and please don't get upset, because there is a way out. Oh no, you can't do that. You can't leave if you leave the Masons. No, there's people that have left it, and maybe, you know what, but they're all right. They're all right. Right? It's just they don't get the same. Things are a little bit more harder. Right? You get more opportunities if you're with an organization. You get more opportunities. You don't really get as much trouble. That's why people join it. Right? Because there's opportunities that come with that. And the God of this world is Satan. Okay? You can call it a helping hand. But it doesn't. But that's rubbish, because again, who's our helping hand? Yahweh Shai. So this whole thing about, oh no, bro, what? He ain't a part of no. He ain't got no one. He ain't got, bro. I got Yahweh Shai. Right? Because people think it's cool. You need to be in a group. If you're not in a group, then something ain't right. Well, this is the body of Yahweh Shai. This is the brotherhood of Yahweh Shai. The true brotherhood. Okay? And the checkered floor as well, the black and white checkered floor, that represents the dualities of the balance of life. In China, they call it yin yang, right? The balance is between evil and good. And Masons believe, there's a lot of misinformation on it. Masons believe evil is good and good is evil. That's how they think. So that's their minds are pretty much warped. They believe evil is good and good is evil, right? That's why they try to inflict so much trauma upon you. They think that's good what they're doing, when it's not good. It's wicked. It's going to get you destroyed if you don't repent, all right? But the black and white checkered floor represents good and bad. right? Really going back to what? The Garden of Eden, right? Okay, the knowledge of good and evil, right? You shall not eat the fruit of the garden. We can go to that as well. Let's go to that. Baba Kashar, right? Galatians 3. Oh, it's getting hot out here. Excuse me just a minute. Go to Galatians 2 and 15. The Lord Yahweh took man, put him in the Garden of Eden to dress it and keep it. And there's something very, very, very spiritual as well. Very spiritual about a lot of people walking around in a park or a field. That's spiritual as well. You think Masons don't read the Bible? They know certain things, but they just don't want to tell you unless you're a part of it, right? Okay. Oh no, don't talk about that. They come after you. They kill you, bro. You ain't gonna do anything. You ain't gonna do anything, right? You're only gonna do what Yahweh allows you to do. It's based on masonry. Is based off fear, right? Ah, don't talk about that. You want to be in bondage all your life. And it says, Baba Kashar, and the Lord Yahweh power commanded the man, saying, every tree and of the garden thou mayest freely eat, of every tree, because it was good. But of the tree of knowledge and of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in that day that eatest thereof shall surely die. So there was a tree of good that we were only eating, but there was a tree of good and evil. Good and evil. And a tree of good and evil, what did that lead to? The condition we're in today, which is captivity. Right? Tree of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Alright? Damn, so I can't even smell this incense. It says thou shalt surely die. Okay. And it says, excuse me just a minute. And the Lord Power said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make for him a helpmeet for him. That helpmeet was what? Eve. Right? And out of the ground the Lord Power formed every beast. Right? So we went to that, jump straight to the point, and jump to chapter 3. Now the serpent was more subtle than the beasts of the field. Subtle. And when a lot of the times people read this, right, what do they think of? What do they think of? They think of a beast. It was an actual snake. This man had the characteristic of a snake. Alright? Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. In other words, it was sneaky. Right? Which the Lord Power had made. Okay? So it says, of any beast of the field, nations are known as beasts. That's a giveaway as well. All the nations are known as beasts. Right? So it says it was more subtle. Right? So, sneaky. Right? Than any of the other nations. And he said unto the woman, yeah, have the Most High said you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Did he really say that? This is how the devil is. Here it is, you're doing the right thing, and the devil will say, no. Did he really say that? Try get you to question yourself. Right? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High have said, you shall not eat of it. So the fruit which is in the midst, in the middle of the garden. So this particular, it stood out. Right? And it was a tree of what? Evil and good. Neither should I touch it, lest ye die. So they were commanded not to touch it. Alright? And it says, and the serpent said unto woman, you shall not surely die. That's how the serpent is. Anything that's good, anything that's bad, the devil will say, no. It's alright. It's alright, you can do it. He's a demon enabler, I call it. Demon enabler. Alright? And it says, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha. For the most I doth know that in the day that you eat, that your eyes may be opened. Opened. And you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Open to what? The evil side of stuff. Right? Witchcraft, Satanism, drinking blood, necromancy, right? Spell casting, wicked sacrifices, right? Rituals. And it says, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, the tree to be desired, to make one wise, right? She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat, right? Real, and guess what? What was she eating up? Them philosophies, right? It was them philosophies, right? And the eyes of them are both open, which is the realization of sin, right? And they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons to cover. Why was that? To cover their shame, right? To cover that shame, right? And they heard the voice of Lord Yahweh power walking in the garden of the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord Yahweh power among the trees of the garden, right? So he tried to hide, right? He sinned in the tree from the other nations, trees of the garden, which represents the other nations, right? And the Lord power called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked and I hid myself. So yeah, he was afraid, because he was naked and he hid himself, right? So he tried to hide his sin. And he said, who told her that was naked? Has that eaten of the tree? The only, but hold on. It says the knowledge of good and evil. So he acknowledged he done evil because he ate of the fruit of good and evil. So he acknowledged evil. It was a knowledge of good and evil, acknowledging good and evil. Right? Wherefore I command thee that I should not eat. And the man said, the woman that thou gavest me to be with me, she gave me of the tree and I did eat. Yeah, it was of Eve, right? Because Eve ate it first. She gave it to her husband. And the Lord power said unto the woman, what is thou that hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me and I did eat. Right? And that serpent is, the serpent is back here again today. That serpent is back here again today, doing his same skullduggery, doing his same evil ass tactics. Excuse me just a minute. Alright? That serpent is the devil. Right? Excuse me just a minute. Revelations 21. Wait me just a minute. See if we can find it. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having a key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he lay hold on the dragon, that old serpent. He lay hold on the dragon, gives dragon and old serpent. And the dragon represents the Roman Empire as well. Right? The old serpent. Right? The old serpent. Why does it say old serpent? Because this serpent was in the Garden of Eve. So the devil's been around for a long, very long time. Right? The old serpent. Right? Which is the devil and Satan. The old serpent is the devil and Satan. You have the spiritual demon Satan, and you have the children. They'll teach you that, oh no, he's just a spirit. No, you have their children upon earth today. You have their children on the earth today, which is really predominantly with Esau, right? They are Satan. So Satan also has children, and the 2/3 of our nation that act like the enemy. Yahweh said that in John 8:44, you of your father the devil, and the lust of your father will ye do. Okay. He was a murderer from the beginning, and there is no truth in him, just like Cain. And Cain tried to do away with that righteous line, right? And it says, Baba Kashar, and bound him 1,000 years, right? This was during the Dark Ages period, right? So we went to that, Baba Kashar. There's a bit more, excuse me just a minute. And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, which was Europe, right? And set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more, right? Because that's all this man does, deceive. Till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. After that, he should be loose a little season. So when did he come back into prominence? What, 16? Really, properly 1800s, but already 16 he got back in there, right? Under what, Caesar Borgia, right? And loosed a little season. So this man's just been loosed a little seasons, right? He's been loose a little season, all right? So back to Genesis 3, we're all shut off, all right? And 15, I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. So there's two different seeds, and it says the woman. The woman represents Israel and thy seed, right? Because Jacob's our brother, but he's our evil brother. And it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. This is when they were fighting in the room, Jacob and Esau, and they were kicking, right? Kicking at each other in the room, in Rebecca's womb, right? And it says, it does say, what, 2 nations there shall be in thy womb. So there's 2 nations that are at war, right? 2 nations. Okay, excuse me just a minute. But that's pretty much on it, right? And the war is ready between Esau and Jacob. When you go to Genesis 25, it tells you that, all right? It tells you that. Genesis 25. And where should we start? 20, I think it's 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord Jehovah for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. Rebecca, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord Yahweh. And the Lord said unto her, she inquired by a prophet, 2 nations are in thy womb, 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and one people shall be stronger than the other people. Okay, so it says there's going to be 2 nations. 2. And they were fighting in the womb, right? That's why it says it struggled in her womb. There's 2 nations that are in war with each other, right? And 2 manner of people shall be separated from the 2 manner of people. That's separation in the Bible, right? And it says, and one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Who's stronger? Let's be real. It's us, right? And the elder shall serve the younger. The elder shall serve the younger. That would be, who was the elder? Esau, because he came out first. So he's going to save us. He's going to serve us. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. The first came out red, all over like a hairy garment. They called his name Esau. So it's describing how Esau looked. He was reddish, right? All over like a hairy garment, right? And they called his name Esau. And after that came out his brother out, and he had took hold on Esau hill. And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old, and she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. So it even gives the characteristics of Esau. Cunning hunter. And a man of the field, and Jacob was a playman dwelling in tents. So a cunning hunter, a man of the field. So Esau's he's a hunter. He's naturally out about on the field. Right? You know, like Bear Grylls, yeah. Okay. And it says, Baba Kashar, and Jacob was a playman dwelling in tents, just easy going. dwelling in tents. But it says Esau was a cunning hunter. And cunning hunter also deals with, this is why Esau is so tricky. Serpent characteristics. Bro, a hunter lays traps, right? Ain't that what a hunter does? Alright? So this man is very cunning. That's why you have to be aware of him. He lays traps. He cannot be trusted. Alright? Cunning, sneaky, and he deals with cunning craft. So pretty much, this was it. Lord willing, this was edifying. And until the next time, shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.